Good morning. It's Tuesday. Welcome to Draze and Kira in the morning, where we only talk about the most important news to all of you and give you very important tips to help you live your life. I'm Draze.
And I'm Kira, and it's too early. No matter
No,
what
it's
you say, it's too early.
it's Tuesday, not too early.
It's both, my friend. It's both.
Dude, it's like 11:15 in
I
Colorado.
know, but I still want to sleep.
Maybe you didn't go to bed so late.
Yeah, probably, but I do stuff in the
Mm,
wee hours of the morning.
well, I do stuff too. There's a lot of dreaming involved and having my eyes closed and laying down.
Why
Very
don't you
exciting.
why don't you tell us about your dreams?
Well, I would. I don't actually remember them.
Well, you're kind of worthless then, aren't you?
Do you
No.
remember any of your dreams?
Yes, I do,
Oh, really?
actually.
You want to tell us about them?
Oh man. Okay. Wait, I had one that was super recent. What happened? Oh my gosh. Okay. That's what happened.
Okay.
I don't know. I was like in hobo clothes or something or other. And there's like a huge like building filled with people. Like it was like some sort of convention going on, but not like the usual conventions I go to. And the
Right.
elevator was literally um like 12 inches wide, and there was no like walls to it, and so you just have to hold on to this little pole thing while you're like lowered down into like all the different floors, and I'm like, I'm gonna die if I let go of this pole.
In your hobo clothes?
Yeah, in my hobo clothes. And I had my like brother and my mom was there, and some
Were they all sliding down the pole?
no, we weren't sliding down the pole. We just I don't know where the heck they were actually.
Bye, Mom. I'm
Just
gonna go down the elevator. That's really small and sketchy looking.
and it was just really weird because I don't know, I just lost the rest of my family, and so I started just walking around. And then I saw this like iron door thing that was open, so I'm just like, I'm gonna go into it, yeah. And I start like, and it was like super dark, just like chain like fences everywhere, and I'm just like running through this maze, and I'm like, yeah, this doesn't seem like a bad idea at all. It was just super weird until I finally like found this massive room, and I like flip open my phone and it like lit up the darkness, which my phone doesn't do because it's a flip phone. But anyway, now that's a
But
now I knew it was a dream. Not really, but after I woke up, I'm like, that doesn't happen. But I found this like janitor guy, and his beard was like entwined with his broom, and he told me the way out. And I'm like, thanks, man. And this dog was like freaking out in front of me, and I'm like, what the heck? And so I got out of there,
ah,
and we drove home.
well, let me tell you what that dream means.
Oh, great.
According to dreammoods.com, if you dream about elevators, in general, they suggest the ups and downs of your life. So if you were going up on an elevator, it suggests you are rising in status and wealth. But if you were going
Uh,
down, it symbolizes
uh,
that you are, what
uh,
does it say? That you are being grounded or coming back down to reality.
that doesn't
So,
sound right either.
no, it's true. 100%.
Oh,
And janitors mean that you need to work on cleaning up aspects of your life. So
I think some just crack addicts made up that site.
I'm pretty sure you just need to go through some self-improvement because you're getting grounded to reality and need to clean up your life according to that dream.
Well, thanks, man. It
You're
was
welcome.
just a slightly humorous dream that I enjoyed, and
Now we're
now,
analyzing it and
yeah.
telling you why you had it.
Why are you such
Well,
a bad person, Zach? Descending on elevators, meeting janitors, what's
yeah,
wrong with
dude.
you? You
Yeah.
gotta clean up your act.
I like how it's cleaning up aspect. I bet someone just came up with like
They're just
janitors
like,
clean stuff So like it's like symbolic of like cleaning up aspects of your life.
Symbolic.
Symbolic.
Some.
Interpret another symbolic of your dream. Anyways, pretty sure we can move on from dreams.
Yeah.
I had an idea this week that will make us millions. Did you know that?
Really? And what
Yeah.
kind of money?
So I was good question to ask. I was at the Angel baseball game last Friday, and they showed a trailer for a new movie called, ready? Planes. From the makers of, can you guess?
Cars.
Yep. So it's a Pixar movie. So get this. We're going to pitch an idea to DreamWorks so they can kind of compete with Pixar, and it's going to be called Boats.
Why?
Isn't that brilliant?
I can just like try to imagine a movie about boats.
It'd be like that tugboat show that I don't know, you probably didn't watch when you were a kid. I have a little toy from it that's like it's this tugboat with like a face, and I remember the show kind of is like they're just talking tugboats. But I feel like Planes is like JJ the Jet Plane is just a movie. So
I have no idea what you're talking about.
were you deprived as a child and not watch
Probably.
JJ the Jet Plane?
I had a Sega Genesis. So I don't think
So that makes it all better.
I was that deprived.
It's okay. No, JJ the Jet Plane was cool. It was weird though because it's like in Planes, this movie, like the face is like part of the plane, but in JJ the Jet Plane, they like put a human face on a plane.
They grafted a human face onto a plane. Flew it around for the world to see.
You'll figure out what we're talking about.
I would be scared. And then I won't be able to sleep. And then I won't be able to tell you about my dreams.
That's true. Because you wouldn't have any sleep, and then you'd never get on to do Draze and Cure in the morning. And it'd be Draze and Cure in like the evening, because that's when you would finally get out of bed.
Still want it that way.
Well, that's wonderful. All right. Enough sidetracking. It's time to go to the weather. Kira,
okay.
How's that weather?
Random code thing. Dang it. How long are zip codes? I keep forgetting. Like 5?
How long are zip 5 numbers? At least that's what my zip code is. I don't know if in other places zip codes are longer or shorter. I feel like they are.
All right. Killeen, Texas. Why are we always getting Texas?
Maybe, yeah. Killeen.
Like Killeen. Killeen.
Killeen.
Or
okay.
Kylene.
If your name was Een, you wouldn't want to live there because they'd kill you. Okay, what's the weather looking like there?
Holy crap. Right now it's 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 98 somehow. There's no clouds, which is pretty terrible. And then
yeah, that just means it's straight sun.
Yeah, the high today is supposed to be 102. Ouch. With a 10% chance of rain. So if you're outside
with no clouds,
the acid rain. There's like,
how's it gonna rain with no clouds?
No, ask weather.com.
Dang it, weather.com. Oh, that doesn't make sense. There's no clouds, but there's a 10% chance of rain. There's a 10% chance of clouds appearing and it's raining just magically.
Just by the roll of the die, it's gonna happen. Yeah.
So what we've learned today is that if your name's Een, you shouldn't live there. And if you live there, it's probably a good day to stay inside and turn on your air conditioning.
And like bathe in ice.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to get a tan, just put like an ice bath outside and like do it that way because it's too hot to just.
All right.
All right, cool. Well, let's go on over to sports. In sports, we found this incredible video of the American League Baseball Classic. So what happened was, you know how at the end of like the games that like there was like a dog pile and like everyone's like, oh, woo, we won. And then they like jump on each other. That's like a sports thing. Did you know that, Kira?
Sounds painful. I don't want to be in the middle
People
of
do
that.
get hurt and there's the whole thing, but that's not what we're talking about. So usually the winning team like celebrates and does that. But in the American League Baseball Classic, everyone was so happy that it was over that both teams came out and did a dog pile. So the winning team runs out and they're all jumping on each other, and then you just see the other team just run out and jump on top of them, and it's great. So that's the baseball news of today. And then that's high quality baseball news. People who love baseball love to hear about that. Take my word for it.
So the winning team got dogpiled. That was the highlight of my
team.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Then this is great. High quality football news here. The New York Jets quarterback Mark Sanchez has been a lightning rod for criticism over the last few seasons. Even during this year's training camp, Jets fans have booed him during practice, and his former teammate Chaz Schillens took a shot at Sanchez in advance of Friday night's preseason opener. I believe that means shot like a cheap shot, not a gun shot.
Take a shot.
Anyways, since 2013, Sanchez's detractors have used social media platforms to express their displeasure with 2009 first-round pick of USC. The vitriol, whatever that means, is often ugly, as evidenced by a tweet that Sanchez decided to respond to on Thursday. He says, well, thanks for your support, man. #classy. RT at Youngstown 4 LI 4E at Mark Sanchez. FU. Hope you tear your ACL on Friday. So then he says Sanchez's performance over the last 2 seasons certainly warrants criticism. Has he not developed into he has not developed into the premier quarterback the Jets thought he would be, and now he's competing with their second round draft pick or something. But wishing a torn ACL or any injury is completely out of bounds. He's a train wreck. I feel like athletes' Twitters should just not exist because they're full of crap all the time.
That's like,
so there's your sports.
That doesn't feel like it was very sportsmanlike, you know?
The world of
professional sports is like,
rough.
what am I supposed to, like, I've been learning that kind of crap in PE, and now we're thrown into the real world. There's just none of it.
I know, that's because people don't learn in school. They just get through it. So
the point of school is
life
not
skills
to learn.
come up. Yeah, obviously Mark Sanchez didn't have a good PE teacher. We're looking at you, Mark Sanchez's PE teacher.
You should.
I'm sure you're listening to this.
You should be ashamed.
You should be. You have destroyed a good man.
And my vision on outlook in life, whatever. I just messed up talking.
Good. Yeah, messed up
talking. It's too early.
Good.
Whatever.
That's incredible. Okay. We're going to move into a new segment on our show that I've decided to start. It's going to be called Pro Tips for Life. And we were going to call them pro-life tips, but that's a political stance, and we're not getting into that right now. So, Pro Tips for Life. I saw this on the news. I was at my grandparents' house, and they were watching the news, and I don't usually watch the news, which is a little ironic since we do a morning show about news. But I was watching the news, and I was watching this segment. It was very short, and it was talking about how Americans are boycotting Russian vodka, and then they said some things that didn't make sense. So I went in and looked it up, and basically what happens is the homosexuals have decided to boycott Russian vodka because Vladimir Putin decided to make us continue to support anti-gays in Russia. But the problem is that the main vodka company that's being targeted is, I'm gonna botch this pronunciation, is Stolichnaya. Okay? Now, nobody sees the problem yet because I haven't told you what the problem is. The problem is that they are boycotting the Stolichnaya, which the person who owns that company, they support gay rights. So basically, they're boycotting somebody that supports them. So, our pro tip for life is don't boycott people who support your cause. Because that's probably not going to get you very far.
And probably check your facts before you go all out.
Yeah.
It's something
I like
that.
how I like how it says how Americans are boycotting Russian vodka, and then they're talking to Russians about this, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't agree with Putin, but we're still gonna drink vodka because we don't care." So it's just an American thing.
It's just like, well, we need to be able to sustain Russian life, so we probably should still drink it.
This is just a prime example of Americans screwing up everything again.
Yeah.
Anyways, ridiculous. All right. Time to move on to the important things about life and, news that way. Here we go. We're going to talk about introverts and extroverts today. Are you excited?
No.
Okay. I feel like this is good since we're introverts. I'm sure we can enlighten a lot of people about this. 10 myths about introverts and then 25 frustrating things about extroverts. Okay?
Because there's no myths about extroverts.
No,
because
they
they're
just have
already
frustrating
out
things.
there talking to us about.
The only reason that introverts have myths is because no one talks about them, so they don't actually know. So, an extrovert probably wrote this article, not an introvert.
Probably.
Okay, here you go. Myth number 1 about introverts. Introverts do not like to talk. This is not true. Introverts just don't like to talk unless they have something to say. Okay.
Makes sense.
They hate small talk. Get an introvert talking about something they're interested in, they won't shut up for days. I guess. I mean, we're talking now, although I don't know if we're interested in this. Okay, myth number 2. Introverts are shy. Shyness has nothing to do with being an introvert. Introverts are not necessarily afraid of people. What they need is a reason to interact. I guess that's true.
It could be.
I just kind of sit there, and if I don't have a reason to interact with people, I won't because I don't really care.
Yeah, I've been at
I feel like
stuff.
I feel like more shy people are introverted. But
yeah, just one time I didn't say a word to anyone because no one talked to me at this meetup thing, and I'm like, my mouth hurts from not talking, which is really weird.
From keeping it straight the whole time.
I'm just like, oh Lord. But yeah, continue.
Let's see, what else we got? Myth number 3: introverts are rude. I didn't even know people thought that. That's rude of them. Myth number 4: introverts don't like people.
Well, I don't like you.
I don't like people, so I think that's a lie.
That's a lie.
Stupid scientist that wrote this. Introverts hate people. I don't know who wrote this. Probably just some blogger. Yeah. Introverts don't like to go in public is number 5. This is nonsense, they say. Introverts just don't like to go out in public for as long.
Well, I've been in my house for the past 2 weeks.
So that one rings true for you.
I only go outside for my vitamin D once in a blue, which doesn't make sense because then it'll be at night.
I'm just skip 6 because that's boring. Introverts always want to be alone, whatever. Myth number 7: introverts are weird. I'm not weird, so that's a lie. Okay.
Are you sure about that?
Myth number 8: introverts are what?
We are bread.
Introverts.
The blogger has spoken. We are bread.
Are aloof. ALOOF.
Aloof.
What is that? Aloof.
Wait.
Nerds.
All right. Dictionary.com
Yes, please enlighten us.
is aloof. At a distance,
Oof.
especially in feeling or interest. Apart.
We are at distance nerds.
We are.
Does that mean we're not distance nerds? What? Introverts are people who are primarily look inward, paying close attention to their thoughts and emotions. It is not that they are incapable of paying attention to what's going on around them. It's just that their inner world is much more stimulating and rewarding. That has nothing to do with being nerdy.
What?
This blogger doesn't know what a nerd is or what aloof means.
I'm searching up nerd. Maybe they looked it up.
Give us a definition on nerd, please.
Wow. This is the most. Oh.
Where'd you go? Like Urban Dictionary?
No, it's dictionary.com. Nerd, a stupid, irritating, ineffectual, or an unattractive person.
Unattractive? I resent that comment.
I that's the first thing I read. I'm like, whoa. And then the second one is an intelligent but single-minded person obsessed with a non-social hobby or pursuit.
I feel like dictionary writers are biased.
Yeah.
I feel like they're nerds too. They should have put a thing in there. They made a dictionary. They're pretty much the nerdiest people in the world.
My gosh.
Okay. Myth number 9. Introverts don't know how to relax and have fun. That's a lie. I'm having a great time right now. Uh-huh. Thrilling. Myth number 10. Introverts can fix themselves and become extroverts. Well, we probably could, but we don't want to because extroverts are weird. All right. I don't know if extroverts are even worth talking about.
Are they? We can make fun of them for making fun of us.
Good. It starts with, yes, you like to talk a lot. No, you're not shallow. And that's it. That's the entire intro to the article. Okay. Having a weeknight off, this is frustrating to them. Having a weeknight off, but no one is available to hang out is number 1. Being upset and needing to talk it out with at least 3 different people. That's 2. That's different from introverts because they only talk to 3 people per week.
Per week.
They have limits. New friends think you're too clingy.
This week I have to go, and I'll never talk to you ever again
time
after
out.
this.
You're bringing a friend? Oh, I can't go. My people limit has been reached. Oh, you're frustrated when you blurt out something that is not necessarily fully formed in your head, I guess. You don't say things smartly.
Banana.
When you come home and want to drink wine and talk about your day, but your roommate isn't willing to hang out.
Also, I'm underage.
And then it shows a sad picture of Spongebob with coffee.
But maybe it's like coffee wine.
What is coffee wine?
That's how they made coffee back in the day.
In wine?
It was coffee wine. Back in the times of I don't freaking know, dude. But I'm pretty sure coffee.
Are you just making this up?
No, I am not making this up. I'm going to Google.
Okay.
And I will search up coffee wine for you. Coffee wine. I spelled wine wrong.
How did you spell it?
Okay. WIN. Coffee win. You can keep
coffee win.
You can keep on going. I'll just find. Oh wait, I found it. Yes, requested recipe is coffee wine. Have half a pound freshly ground coffee, 2.5 pounds dark brown sugar, 1.5 teaspoon, citric acid, 1/4 teaspoon of tannin, 7.5 pints of water, 1 teaspoon yeast nutrient, and I have a hard time when there's like 2 consonants in the row. Something. Sao.
So I
Yes, it exists.
think our next podcast we should make this.
But I can't.
We can
I
show
can't
people how
drink
to make it.
wine.
We don't
But
have to drink
we
it.
can
We
make
can
it and
make
then
it.
make our parents like drink the awful swill, and see what happens.
Okay. Most of these extrovert things are boring, but this one's pretty funny. Number 12. When the cashier is at the grocery store is like, stop talking to me about your life. That's what I get frustrated as an extrovert.
Please, dude. You with your low self-esteem
Okay,
and shallow
let's
job.
move on.
Stop talking with me.
Yep. I don't care about your life. Take your food and go. All right, Zach. What's been going on in the gaming realm?
I've been playing the beta for Payday, which is a game about robbing banks and other crimes like stealing money and stuff like that, which is actually pretty fun than the fact that you're like making people get on the ground and then tying them up and then breaking into vault banks. Sounds like a vodka you should boycott.
Right, because we support their cause. Boycott it.
But
that's gonna be a thing. I agree with you. Boycott me.
It was ridiculous though, because I was playing with some friend, and so we're just like, we have to do this one really quickly, and so we run into the jewelry store, like all the jewelry, and then we run to the car, and then the police we jump into the car. Like one guy was behind and he was like running to the car. The car drove away with me in it, hit an invisible wall, and then it made me sink into the bottom of the map or something. Like I was still like standing up straight, and people are just like, "Where did you go?" And I'm like, "I'm right here, guys." I hit an invisible wall, and then I like walk forward, and then it's like I walk out of the concrete to meet them. They're just like, what is going on?
That's crazy.
But it is the beta, so it's probably fixed now.
Well, right, the invisible wall's probably not there, so yeah. Well, for me, nothing super interesting has happened. We played Minecraft yesterday with some of our friends, and apparently there was this fun game called Hot Seat, where you stand on sand and then there's wood under it, and then they set the wood on fire, and then whoever doesn't fall down first wins. But so I won. It wasn't as exciting as you make it sound, even though I'm not making it sound very exciting at all. But they actually burned down the entire structure because they made it out of wood. So we couldn't play a second round because they were dumb. So that's what happened in the gaming world for me. So it was a colossal waste of time. Anyways, going on real quickly into the global gaming world, competitive gaming has been recognized by the U.S. Department as a professional sport. Woo! The official League of Legends eSport Tournament League Championship Series has been recognized as a fully professional sport by the U.S. State Department. For the first time, players from outside the U.S. can move to the U.S. under specific visas, which are provided for pro sports players coming to America to do work. Previously, overseas LCS players had to go to a complicated series of applications to play professionally in the United States. So this is good. So now people who are like from Europe or Asia who are coming to the World Championships, which are in Los Angeles, they can get here easier. I also like how they come over here to beat us, because I'm pretty sure the North American teams don't win. So we're like, North America's teams are like, we're not going to go across the country to lose, so you're going to have to come here and you'll have to beat us in Los Angeles. Right I'm on route because I have a visa for professional sports. I also think it's funny how there's esports that are recognized by the government as a professional sport, but cheerleading is not recognized as a sport. Did you know that?
No, I thought there were like competitions and stuff,
It
so
is
I thought
not.
that was.
There are competitions, but it's not a sport because they had some weird like thing that like the school had to give like a specific funding for like sports, and so they're trying to figure out if cheerleading was a part of that budget, and then the court ruled that it wasn't. So cheerleading is technically not a sport. So that
No.
means, you know what that means, Zach? That nerds got a one up on cheerleaders. That's what it means.
Ooh, wow.
So let's recap what we've learned today. We've learned to not boycott things that we support. We've learned that introverts are a lot better than extroverts. And we've learned that
And how
nerds
to
are
make
better
coffee
than
wine.
cheerleaders. And how to make coffee wine. It's been a productive day. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or dislike, you know, if you're a cheerleader.
Or that one guy that we talked about.
We'll be back probably in a week or two, you know, whenever. We always seem to film on Tuesdays, but now that I say that, it'll probably won't be on a Tuesday. Anyways,
Right.
have a great week.
I'm
We're
Kira,
out. I'm Draze.
and it's still too early.
We're signing off. And it's
Bye.
still Tuesday. Bye.